Hello and welcome to another edition of Worth a Watch with me, Anthony Flores. This is going to be my personal top 10 favorite films of 2012. It was a long year, a pretty solid year actually for films. Just keep in mind, this is my list and my personal opinions. This is by no means a fact and just permanent marking on cinema. This is just my favorite films, and that's pretty much all there is to say about it. So we shall start off with the number 10 spot on my list, and that is the little movie Safety Not Guaranteed. Many people did not see this film. Even I didn't get to see it in its short theatrical run. It was one of those little quote-unquote indie films that just didn't quite make the huge spurt of, critical acclaim, much like Moonrise Kingdom or something like that. But it was a smaller film starring Aubrey Plaza, Mark Duplass. And it is a story of time travel. The whole thing starts off with Aubrey Plaza's character and her boss at their local newspaper job, whatever, etc., etc. They look up this want ad to get a story that was placed by Mark Duplass's character about wanting someone to go back in time with him because he's done it before. The entire film was basically a giant mystery of figuring out if Mark Duplass's character is legit, if he's actually serious, and Aubrey Plaza is just the young hottie to do it. And this is a really good movie. I will not explain any more because it would definitely be spoiling a lot of the good mystery behind this film. You're constantly guessing. At least I was. And this film just really had that subtle, quirky humor as well as some interesting time travel bits here or there. I enjoyed it. I thought the acting was superb. The writing was a bit on the choppy side, but nonetheless, it was good. All the good stuff time travel could bring into a small indie movie like this just really makes it for me. I just don't know. It has a charm to it, so I definitely recommend it if you enjoy smaller films like this. Definitely check it out. Number 9 on my list is the hit horror film Cabin in the Woods, directed by Drew Goddard and written and co-written by Goddard with Joss Whedon. One of the shelved films from 2009 that MGM went bankrupt and Lionsgate ended up picking it up. And at least this film did a lot better than some other movies that were shelved. Yeah. Nonetheless, this was an awesome little movie. So much creativity went into this. The direction from Drew Goddard and the writing and co-writing from Goddard and Joss Whedon just makes this movie. Mostly unknown actors are in this, at least in my opinion. I think they're, at least in my perspective, I think they're unknown. I've never heard of these people aside from Thor, Chris Hemsworth, which is the only known actor that I can think of right off the top of my head. But nonetheless, this film deconstructs the horror genre, makes fun of it, but also respects it and also just pays homage to it. If you are a horror fan to see this film, I am just going to say that there is just too much just genius put into this film. I'm going to say that because not very many, as we all know, we started off the year with a Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie. Movies like that dumb down the horror genre. Movies like Cabin in the Woods give some little bits of respect back to the horror genre. So take your pick on what you'd like to see, and if you've yet to see this gem of a movie, if you're a horror fan, then why the fuck haven't you seen this movie yet? So get on it. It's definitely a must-see for horror fans everywhere. Moving on to number 8. That is the sci-fi hit Looper. Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Bruce Willis play the young and old versions of the character named Joe. Joseph Gordon-Levitt's character, the younger self of Joe, is a looper. He kills people when they're sent from the future to the past, and he's closing the loop, per se, on people's lives. But when it comes down to where his older self, played by Bruce Willis, is sent to him to get shot and run down and killed, things get interesting. A lot of stuff goes down in this movie. I can't even explain everything that goes into this film because it is just that complex and that interesting. The time travel elements are really well done. The action is great when it's there. The dramatic elements are there. There's a few quick little one-liners that Bruce Willis and Joseph Gordon-Levitt have here or there. Emily Blunt's character is also really great and integrated into the movie well. Some people may not like it when her character is introduced along with her son in the film. But that's where shit gets really interesting. And I won't say any more. It is a great sci-fi film. I am not a big sci-fi guy. Oddly enough, though, there's 2 time travel movies in this damn list right here. So I may sound like a hypocrite, but nonetheless, it's a great movie. It is a great, for those of you who are fans of Blade Runner, Total Recall, definitely see this movie. On to number 7. In the words of Sheldon Cooper, a happy accident. I really didn't push this, but it just happened to make it in the perfect little slot. And that movie is 7 Psychopaths. I loved this movie so much in terms of just Sam Rockwell and Christopher Walken. These are the 2 main guys you should see this movie for. If you're a fan of either one of those guys, see this film now. And if you need more reasons to see it, Colin Farrell and Woody Harrelson also deliver great, funny, and just awesome performances. Walken is just Walken. He has his mannerisms. Ow! You know, he just does that classic Walken stuff. He's just so awkwardly funny, and he delivers some delivers a dramatic performance in here as well that actually kind of shocked me. I didn't expect that in this movie. Sam Rockwell, scene stealer every time. He just keeps on doing so much good stuff in film. He's good in everything he does. Colin Farrell, thank God he recovered just a little bit and showing that he can still do something good compared to that other movie. And Woody Harrelson is Woody Harrelson. The guy's hilarious. And Olga Kurylenko and Abby Cornish, the 2 female leads, kind of off to the side, somewhere over there. They're meant to look hot. That's pretty much it. The story, just the fact is that Walken and Rockwell's characters are the ones who steal dogs for a living. Colin Farrell's a writer, and he's writing a film, 7 Psychopaths, and it's kind of a movie within a movie, and a bunch of shit goes down once they end up stealing Woody Harrelson's Shih Tzu. I won't say any more. It's just hilarious. You gotta see it. It's gone to my number 6 spot, and that is the badass himself, 007 James Bond. The movie Skyfall just blew me out of the water. I didn't expect much of anything because, number one, I am not a James Bond fan. I know of the character. I know a little bit about his background and mythos and whatever from the Sean Connery days to the Pierce Brosnan stuff. I saw a few of those movies as a kid. But Casino Royale changed all that and brought James Bond into the real world. And this movie, wow, Sam Mendes' direction, Daniel Craig's performance, everything from the intro, train scene, to Adele's theme music, the climactic introduction of the crazy villain, and very evil villain, Silva, played by Javier Bardem, and Judi Dench's performance as M. Oh. And to the bittersweet ending. I have no words. It's one of the best action films I've seen in quite some time. It is just one heck of a film. I just don't know what else to say than that, and I wouldn't want to give anything away. It's a must-see for action fans. If you're a James Bond fan, I'm sure you've seen this film multiple times. I only got to see it once in the theater, but my God, I wish I could have saw it at least one more time, because that was one heck of a movie. Definitely deserves to be in anybody's top 10 list, and it's definitely can't wait for the Blu-ray.